Hello everyone, welcome to Frost and Sullivan's growth webinar. We have the topic today, implementation of green supply chain management practices. Myself Vivekananda Bhatt, your growth expert for today from Frost and Sullivan, and I will be glad to introduce our esteemed panelists today. We have with us Mr. Soumik Gupta, uh, Health, Safety and Environment and Sustainability Lead for India Business Unit of Mondelez International. Popularly known for it's a global snacking company and popularly known for its Cadbury's brand of chocolates. So welcome Mr. Gupta for the discussion. And Mr. Gupta is an expert in the FMCG domain and he has a vast experience for more than 2 decades. He has worked for leading FMCG companies like Colgate-Palmolive, Wrigley's, and also PepsiCo at various assignments as a manufacturing lead, operations lead, and also as a factory manager. And now he leads HSE function for Mondelez, all the manufacturing sites in India. We also have our second panelist for today, Mr. Manoj Kumar, Assistant Vice President and Head of Materials and Logistics at Hindalco Industries Limited, Belagavi. So Hindalco Industries is a metal flagship company of Aditya Birla Group, and the Belagavi unit is into manufacturing of specialty alumina. Mr. Manoj Kumar is an end-to-end supply chain expert, and which includes supply chain planning, procurement of raw materials, consumables, spare parts, capital equipment, and project equipment. And also he is responsible for the logistics operations, both inbound and outbound. Mr. Manoj Kumar has over close to 3 decades of experience in the field, and earlier he has worked with renowned companies like L&T, Tata Projects, and Voltas. So I would welcome both the panelists for today's discussion. So brief about today's topic, green supply chain strategy. So what is green supply chain strategy? So it is nothing but aligning our suppliers and supply chain operations into a sustainability strategy of the organization. Means taking along suppliers in your sustainability journey, which is very much essential because as a company, there is very limited scope in the manufacturing within the plant factory premises to reduce the environmental footprint. So unless we go beyond our factory boundaries to the suppliers, so we cannot achieve our overall sustainability goals. So to implement green supply chain, we have a 6-step approach. So I will briefly go into each steps. First is that we need to start with assessing and mapping your supply chain, all stages of supply chain, to find out the key focus areas where there is a significant environmental impact. So it could be sourcing of raw materials, it could be packaging, it could be the logistic operations. So we need to find out through a scientific study, which is called life cycle assessment, preferably. So this is the first step. And next step would be we need to set clear and measurable sustainability objectives and goals. So these goals will be at 3 levels. One is at organization level, then at the unit for each manufacturing site level, and then there will be goals at the functional level. For example, there will be specific KPIs for R&D function, for procurement function, logistics function, or the supplier quality function, supplier customer relations, customer service function. So like this, there will be specific KPIs. So we need to be clear, define those KPIs. Then third step would be a screening of suppliers based on the ESG, environmental, social, and governance aspects. So this is a very important step before you induct new suppliers. Otherwise, depending on only the suppliers' undertaking and declarations for the supplier code of conduct will not be sufficient. So we need to assess them, we need to validate their data and performance, through the structured approach. So here also we cannot do this at a one stretch for all the suppliers. So we can prioritize the suppliers based on the criticality, based on the annual spend, and you can go phase wise. Now the fourth step is about optimization of the transport or the logistics, both inbound and outbound. So this also varies. This varies. This depends on the location of the manufacturing plant. So it varies from plant to plant, depending on your proximity to the seaport, proximity to railway sliding, and your no, road network. So depending on the road network of transportation, mode of transport, the environmental impact also varies. So this is about no alternate modes of transport, alternate fuels, optimizing the routes, and also no, maximizing the capacity of loading, like containers, trucks. So all these aspects can be looked into. Now, fifth step would be implement waste management and recycling programs with your suppliers. Uh, we all know that automotive companies are very, very strong in this aspect on the recycling, packaging, and no waste management, other things. They have a lot of good practices in this regard. Now, the sixth step would be track and monitor the performance. So having done all this, this involves handling of lot of data from the suppliers. So you need to have a digital platform or digital tool here to manage this data and continuously track the KPIs on a real-time basis. For example, the logistic performance or transporters performance tracking of your trucks on a real-time basis. So all this we need a digital intervention in place. So for seamless access. So these are the six steps in the implementation. And let's have a quick look at what are the key benefits of implementation of green supply chain management. So there are six key benefits. First and foremost is the cost savings. Whatever you do, the energy conservation, reduce the emissions, the waste, reduce the waste, and all these factors optimize your logistics. All those things will have a significant impact on the profitability for your company. Now, second one, brand reputation and competitive advantage. Definitely, your sustainability efforts also when you communicate to the external stakeholders. So your the brand reputation will be enhanced, and through environmental no, processes and systems and environmental friendly products also will give a competitive advantage for you in the market. There is always a section of eco sensitive customers no, for your products. There is a different segment for that. And we have innovation and collaboration with suppliers and partners as the next thing. So definitely necessity is the need of invention. So the sustainability requirements will drive you for innovation, for implementing new processes, adopting new technologies, introducing new business models, and it would involve a lot of collaboration with your not only suppliers but other external stakeholders like government bodies are there. You have universities which help you in the research part of it. So it will improve a lot of no communication with your external collaboration with your external stakeholders. Then we have regulatory compliances. So all these initiatives will keep you ahead of time. So beyond compliance, you will be prepared for because regulatory compliance are bound to be get stringent over the time. So you will be ahead of your time in meeting the regulatory requirements ahead of your time. Risk mitigation, especially I would like to mention here two risks. One is climate change risk, and second is no scarcity of some materials which will disrupt your supply chain. So you will be better prepared for the handling this kind of risk. Now, having done all this, it is very important to share your success story to the external stakeholders through public disclosures. So you can transparently disclose your achievements, your best practices, in the supply chain through public disclosures, through sustainability or business responsibility report. So all this, yeah, this help you in the entire mechanism helps you in achieving all this. So at Frost and Sullivan, we work with companies in partner with companies in their sustainability journey. We have an four-pillar approach for evaluating the sustainability maturity of the companies. These four pillars talk about purpose, partnership, planet, and people. So we have been doing this evaluation for the last 15 years, and we have evaluated over 300 companies, not globally, across different industries in industry segments in manufacturing as well as service sector. So supply chain is an important aspect in this framework, and we help companies uh, to evaluate the supply chain maturity also in the adoption of sustainable development practices, and we also help companies handle them in the implementation of their sustainability strategy. So that is a brief on today's topic, green supply chain management, and I will now open up the floor for the discussion with our esteemed panelists for today. So to start the discussion, I would first invite Mr. Soumik Gupta, HSC lead from Mondelez, for the first point of for the first discussion point. Mr. Soumik, the question. Welcome you for the discussion. So we will
Thank you, Mr.
start with. Thank you. So we will start the discussion with the first discussion point on the key focus area. Mr. Soumik, the key focus areas with respect to green supply chain management for the Mondelez as an organization, and during implementation, what are the major risks and challenges you have come across?
Okay, so Mr. Bhatt, thank you for asking that question. So, see, Mondelez is basically a snacking company, and we work on basically four key pillars, that is growth, execution, culture, and the last one being sustainability. And that is where our commitment to sustainability is always there. We do have a net zero goals which is well laid out, but however we have a we are committed to having a fostering sustainability supply chain through targeted initiative focused on key social and environmental areas actually. Now we have got time. We aim to have a very long-term positive impact, and which is aligned with the company's growth. But on the supply chain front, basically we focus on six key areas, basically, which is more of a from a sustainability because we are a food company, so it is more about the sustainable ingredients which you procure. And basically we focus we have, and for that, because we have a lot of chocolate consumption and cocoa is one of our key ingredients, wheat is one of the key ingredients, sugar is one of the key ingredients. So we have a cocoa life program, we have a wheat harmony program which actually helps us in sustainable agriculture as well. Again, from a supply chain perspective, we have a sustainable packaging also, which is more towards having a recycled packaging and reducing the, particularly on the working on the material usage to minimize wastage. That is something which we do. We have a climate goal as well, and no deforestation, and we work on lot many climate actions, be it on energy, be it on um, air, be it on water, be it on waste. So those are the things which we always do, so that reduce our carbon footprint. And definitely in the supply chain, diversity, equity, and inclusion is something which we also drive and primarily focus on the minority and women owned businesses. The again, from a employee well-being, yes, that is something which we focus on when it's about the workplace conditions, which we support with a more inclusive and sustainable movement. However, as you say that in the supply chain, I also would like to mention the challenges which we face over here. Particularly, it is more about the seasonality and the inflation which we see with our ingredients, particularly the price volatility, which is more related to that because it's related to the agro commodity and the seasonal fluctuations, which we always tend to have. It is a very serious challenge to our business, and that is where we continuously keep on working to make it a very robust one. And obviously, supply security is something which we work on as more about our key ingredient that I mentioned already, and which is affected by climate actions, geopolitical reasons, could be social challenges in the supply chain. So those are the things which we continuously work. We facilitate our partners. There are multiple areas we work upon. We have a very close collaboration how we work in the entire supply chain to make sure that those risks and challenges are mitigated.
Thank you, Soumik. I think that was insightful. You touched upon not just environmental, but also social and
Yeah.
regulatory part of it also, and sustainable agricultural participants also. So thank you, Soumik, for your insights. Now, the question for Mr. Manoj Kumar. Welcome to the discussion. So you have a different perspective. So you represent a site, a unit of Hindalco, wherein you manufacture specialty chemicals. So you have a different set of challenges as a unit because of the geographical location. So what is that specific challenges? What is your views on these challenges and risks? And what are the key focus areas for you as a unit in the green supply chain management?
Thanks, Mr. Bhatt. Thanks a lot for asking this question. Basically, Belgavi unit, we are Hindalco Belgavi, which produces specialty grade of alumina and hydrate. This application of this specialty grade of alumina and hydrate goes to different applications, which includes water treatment, insulators, tiles, even the Gorilla Glass of iPhone. It is being used currently. It is being used for the bogey for this. We are having a tie with or going to have tie with railways for these wagons and all. So the challenges basically, if you'll ask me for the our Belagavi unit, is it's not connected with rail. Earlier it used to be wherein the smelting unit was there, but it got discontinued due to significant increase in the power cost. So as a result, the equipment was relocated to one of our unit at Odisha. So additionally, the railways issued a notification to just increase or convert all these smaller gauge into the broader gauge. So change we did not pursue at that time, and it did not align to our need at that point of time or at that period. So consequently, all our inbound and outbound transportation are being handled through road transport. So if you'll ask me for any alumina industries across the world, bauxite is the key raw material. And we were having our own mines long back, but in 2015-16, it got closed, and we are relied on the domestic as well as imported supplies. In addition to that, the challenges is the Belgavi, if you'll see, it is on the western part of the country, which is the rain-prone areas. So logistics is a great challenge for us. In addition to that, this bauxite being a sticky in nature, it cannot be handled during the monsoon season. So yes, Belagavi unit is in the city basically, and it is surrounded by 7 villages. So we have environmental challenges as well, which needs to be addressed on a day-to-day basis. So like what Mr. Soumik said, we also are focusing into almost 6 areas, which includes your increasing of your recycled and renewable materials. Like the moment you produce alumina from bauxite, we have a waste called DMS, dry mud stacking, which we just send it to the cement industries. We also sell this scrap to the authorized recyclers. We have a good, second is we have a good improved supplier relation management, which also helps us to do this, just check their compliances towards these aspects, as well as we have a online or on-site inspection with them. We do invest in a renewable source of energy, and we already have a biomass plant over here. We are taking power from wind. Solar is in the verge of your implementation, and we already converted this FO into NG. We also focus on increased collaboration with the service providers, and many more activities has been done along with them. In addition to that, we also invest in the green technology, which usually includes electrical vehicles, LED packaging, and last but not the least, is reducing emission from the transportation and logistics. So we have switched to higher capacity trucks and all, and many other improvement program has been done while importing this imported bauxite from Guinea, which is West Africa, to India. And that also ultimately result a reduction in the carbon emission, as well as we have ZLD, zero liquid discharge, and reuse of water and all. These are the few initiatives what we have done in the past few years.
Wonderful. Mr. Manoj, you have given examples of every possible opportunity for a manufacturing company. I think stakeholder management is very, very key for your unit. And you have given new angle, community. Also,
Yeah.
community aspects is very important for this. And of course, logistics continues, and access to raw materials, transportation plays a very major role for your industry. Thank you very much for your insights. So we will proceed to the next topic of supplier selection. Mr. Saumik, I'm coming back to you on the supplier selection. How you are, what kind of you already spoke about environmental, social, and regulatory aspects. I believe these aspects are already inbuilt into your supplier selection criteria. So generally, we see capacity and capability. These are the main two things companies look, and financial stability of the companies, and where they have supplied in the past. So these are the things. So ESG is a criteria, separate criteria, which already spoke about, that is inbuilt in your supplier selection process. But we would be more interested to understand, how do you validate those suppliers, especially suppliers, medium and small suppliers who do not have structured sustainability approach. So how do you actually validate them for adoption of ESG criteria, and how do you handle them in the journey? So if you can.
So that's
Mr.
a very
Saumik, you are,
interesting. That is
yes.
a very interesting question which you have asked. And in fact, we have a very well laid down vendor selection process, which, if I'll just going to share with you, and it is a very clear cut, directive which we have for our organization, how we do it. And in fact, if I need to explain that to everyone, it's more about, you select it basis the market and the supplier analysis, and they are invited for a process which we already know as a request for proposal, or RFP, how we know. Now, the other part, the vendor selection is obviously, the technical commercial process that always will be there. But along with that, we also put a parameter like sustainability, quality, cost, and capacity as well. Now, we take out a weighted score, and sustainability is one of the key parameter in that evaluation. And when we talk about sustainability, it covers the all the aspects, be it climate, be it social, be it regulatory. So the shortlisted candidate, what they need to do, then and if there are any red flags, so obviously in terms of legal and ethical also, that's also they have to got a very strict screening which you do. So now from that perspective, that is there. Now when you talk about the sustainability criteria, now it is something which the way is assigned to the supplier commitment to responsible sourcing, human rights, and environmental impact. And how we ensure this we ensure by they need to register to the SEDEX or EcoVadis, where the sustainable practices are scored and audited. Now each vendor, whosoever are registered, they need to go undergo meta audit, and automatically it has a 360-degree audit which covers all the social and legal compliances. And apart from that, once they are onboarded, we have a monitoring compliances also, and which the way we do it now, it is through the SEDEX and EcoVadis platforms which track their sustainability performance. And they and then also they ensure that the audit findings which happened are addressed, and they are closed. So the work and in fact we also handhold them, facilitate them. to improve their sustainability index, as well as the compliances with respect to the sustainability standard we set for ourselves. So it is basically a two-way approach which we take, and it's basically the partnership which we enjoy. We work with the vendors, we work with them, we help them understand the expectation, the whatever the in fact we also share the good practices with the vendors, to make sure that they also come to a platform where they can be a trusted vendor, and also and that becomes a long term security for for us as well. Having a trusted partner in the supply chain, you cannot ask for more. So that is the approach we take to ensure that our vendors are following the sustainability route as well.
Yeah, good. Mr. Soumik, I just have a follow-up question on this.
Yeah.
So during the screening and evaluation, let's say some suppliers may not meet the required threshold
Yeah.
score on sustainability. So how do you work with those suppliers? So suppliers meeting the criteria is good, they are all onboarded, but those
Yeah.
who are falling short of your expectations.
So, say for example, say as I said that it could be looked from the what they are not meeting in terms of the expectation. Suppose, say when I said that they need to undergo the meta audit, and in fact there are certain red flags. So definitely it depends on the the kind of red flags which has come. And in case, I mean, definitely there is always when the audit happens, they always give a observation, and they allow a timeline how they can close. And definitely that is the time when we actually handhold them to close it properly, because uh, we have got our we are also invested in them, right? So we help them to close that gap. We have a regular connect with them, and then we have a team of people who actually tracks the progress as well. So
Okay.
in this methodology, so they close it also, and in case, in the worst case scenario, so if they are unable to close, and if the red flag continues for again next cycle, so obviously we'll have to take a difficult call around that. So it works both ways. We have a positive reinforcement also the negative as well, but we
Okay.
are very
Thank you
strict on
so
that. Yeah.
Thank you. Understood. So, Mr. Manoj, I will slightly change the context of the question for you. Depending on the nature of operations, instead of suppliers, you engage a lot of contractual service providers at
Right.
your. So,
Yeah.
no, you interact, you manage them on a day-to-day basis. So, how do you ensure that ESG criteria? You also at Hindalco, you have very good ESG criteria defined for the thing. But for your two categories, your service providers and transporters, since they are a big one of the major stakeholders for you. So how do you manage them with respect to the ESG criteria requirement of your no, organization policy? How do you roll out implementation at site?
Yeah. So basically, before onboarding them, we identify these suppliers as well as the service providers, what we call it as our transporters. So we already have a comprehensive supplier assessment checklist that evaluates all aspects, which includes your sustainability, safety, health, and environment criteria. A supplier visit has also been planned for all these critical suppliers before they are onboarded with Hindalco. And additionally, we also conduct an annual supplier evaluation process with them. What Mr. Swamik has also said, we also have a robust process as far as the audit is concerned, which includes this meta for both social and legal aspects. We have SEDEX, EcoBodies, and also frost and surveillance. So basically, we also go with the product quality, the supplier capability, the consistency in supplier performance, because sustainability is very, very important for us, and consistency is required for our longer term perspectives with be it with the suppliers, be it with the transporters. Also, we just check their or the risk associated for on their perspectives and what are their mitigation plans. What we are also doing is we have already had one agency which just evaluate different parameters against EHS, that is environment, health, and safety, and they also just put some scores against that, and accordingly we just proceed in case of these suppliers as well as transporters.
Okay, Mr. Manoj, that was good. I have two specific follow-up questions with respect to your contractors. So what kind of things you add in your contract while making the contract in the thing, and anything else on day-to-day basis you manage with them? This is first question. With respect to manpower contract, for example, manpower contractor, which you engage for packaging, material movement, these kind of activities, indirect jobs. And second one is for the transporters. I think the features like GPS enabled vehicles, these kind of things. So would you also put that as a contract term, as a mandatory thing in your contracts?
Yeah. So for manpower contract, the first thing is we have a code of conduct. So that is code of conduct is one of the important part or parameters which includes various aspects, and it is governed by the values what we have. So Hindalco has 5 values: integrity, commitment, passion, seamlessness, and speed. And these are a part of any of the contract has a part of this. We also touch upon the sustainability aspects as well as the environmental aspects. So these also is second thing, the labor or the manpower contract, the ultimate objective is the people should work in a healthy environment inside the plant. So how to just ensure a safe, healthy, safely means environment as well as their so that the moment they enter inside the premises or the plant premises, they feel secure. That is the first thing we just wanted, and the entire thing is being put into the contract so that the contractor liability should also be taken care of apart from what we are liable for. As far as transportation is concerned, you rightly said, basically our more or less transportation is inbound as well as outbound. Inbound, we do this bauxite transportation. On a majority, I'm just talking about, and the outbound is going to the respective customers. So each and every vehicle is having a GPS fitted, and we also have TMS in place wherein we just track where this actual materials is, and this not only helps us in just managing or planning the entire activities just to reach to the destination at the within the time frame and just make them happier, but also it also help us to do the planning on that. And we have regular interactions with them, and we are also going with new technologies in between so that the material can be reached to the destination within a time frame. We also monitor this TRAT, that is truck turnaround time, with all these not only with the truck your transporters but also with the customer. So we do have a entire checklist wherein the customer also just rate us on these aspects, and these are the things what we can see is already in
Yeah,
place, and we are we are pretty happy with that.
yeah, that's very good to hear. I also believe that you have a very robust, contractor performance management system, which validates the performance of your contractors on a monthly basis, out of which HSE is a big parameter.
Yeah, HSE is one of the important parameter, Mr. Bhatt, and what we do is not only on a monthly performance evaluation and all, we also conduct every year this vendor meet. And the vendor
Yeah,
meet wherein we just call all the vendors, like Mr. Somik also said, if someone is not performing, we are just hand holding them so that they can perform better. And the areas wherein they are lacking, the entire thing is being divided into different segments. Areas where they are lacking, wherein we just support them, and also we have a reward and recognition systems which further boost them as well as the others to just perform in a much better way.
yeah, that is really encouraging. So thank you for that. Coming back to the discussion. So the next topic we have for today is on the logistics front. So there are, Samik, I will come to you for
Yeah,
FMCG of your kind. Logistics, uh, there is a very complex mechanism to your distribution centers, both from, I'm talking from inbound as well as outbound. Even outbound, you have very complex distribution mechanism. So here, what are the key interventions you have to drive, uh, sustainability or optimize your logistics in the logistics so that you can, reduce your environmental footprint from the logistics operations?
yeah, Mr. Bhatt. So as we know that we are basically a stacking company, and in, say for example, in India we have a we mainly are into chocolate business. Now when you're talking about chocolate business, what is most important thing to understand that India is a very diverse country, and even though we have plants in the all in we have got 4 plants in different directions, but the product is very sensitive from from temperature. So we use both refrigerated as well as non-refrigerated vehicle, because we have also biscuit portfolio also. So depending on which product we ship, that is more about the outbound. But inbound, I'll also talk about the inbound, how it take I mean how we do it. And for inbound, it has to be slightly strategic decision which you need to take in the very first place. Now the location for such a the location for the manufacturing sites plays a very important role, from the point that whether the ports, because we use a lot of imported items also, so whether it is close to ports, whether we have got a good connectivity with rail, waterways, or from by road. Now the very first thing what we try to do is, wherever we put our plants, we actually invite our vendors to co-locate with us. That actually takes care of the very first thing, which is about the logistic part and the logistic emission. The second part is how we design the conveying of the material. Now, the very first thing what we try to do is the bulk transportation, which actually, we carry more in shorter distance with using less energy. So that's something which we do. And also about the in mode how we do it. It's about the packaging also. Like say for example, we always try to do bulk transport in terms of bulk material. Now, in fact, whatever the new plants and etc. Are coming up, so we are also planning bulk transportation and handling and systems, so that my packaging from the waste perspective also they are addressed, from the logistic perspective they are also addressed. Now, when I talk about inbound, the other thing is what Mr. Manoj was also saying was the TAT. How fast you can turn around the vehicle. The vehicle should come, it should not wait, and then it should move out. So there are lot many ways we can do it. It is how you design your unloading systems, and also how you plan your vehicles. So these are something which actually facilitates the logistic emission indirectly. But when you talk about the direct emission, yes, definitely, we can always go for the low emission vehicles, which particularly which are available there, and we also work with our vendors to provide us with the more or more vehicles, not on HS which runs on diesels or HSD, it's more on LNG or CNG. But again, given the fact that the vehicles are all taken from the market, those sometimes those becomes the bottleneck. So, and even we'll also talk about the electrical vehicle, and I'll also touch upon why it is good and why it is not, as people speculate. Now let me talk about little bit about the outbound. And outbound is, again, it's all about how you plan it. And obviously the network optimization plays a very vital role. Now, how we plan our vehicle from point A to point B or point C, how we optimize the network sometimes plays a very big role. The second thing is how we improve the vehicle fill rate. Now, how much we can, what is the maximum weight we can transport given the type of vehicle we choose. It could be even single axle, double axle. It all depends on the vehicle, the distance it will cover, and that all we do with our, it's basically analytical tool which we have. And the other thing is, convert and take vehicles which are mostly run on LNGs and CNGs rather than on HSD. Now, given the fact that in India there are the availability of vehicle is slightly different, but we always optimize with our transporter. Now let's talk about EVs. What the new thing which people are so passionate about. Now we also having our trials in the secondary leg for the EV vehicles. We are doing the pilots, and it's a very promising thing. But the challenge is how do we charge those vehicles actually plays the major role. If it is from a green source, EV makes sense, but if the source is brown, or the brown power if you are using for charging, it doesn't make sense. It actually ends up in more carbon emission. So these are the few things which we need to be conscious of. And in fact, countries like India, the developing country, once the infrastructure has come up and it facilitates charging of these EV vehicles through green power, I think will make it. But the other thing which we are also trying to evaluate are the hydrogen vehicles. But that is a technology which is coming up. But let's wait and watch how it pans out.
Yeah, these insights are very helpful, Mr. Sonik. Thank you for that. And Mr. Manoj, when we come to the Belagavi unit, you initially said that the logistics is a major challenge because of the location of the unit. So that also made you to make a lot of new initiatives in the logistics front to ready, because logistic cost is very big out of your total cost for the company. So can you share your success story with respect to logistics? How you have turned this challenge into opportunity, and also in terms of cost savings, which achieved for the unit in terms of logistics front.
Yeah, definitely. So just I wanted to give a quote of Mr. Tom Peters that leaders win through logistics. Vision, sure. Strategy, yes. But when we go to the war, you need to have both toilet paper and bullets at the right place at the right time. So in other words, you must win through superior logistics. So just saying that, I just want to say, you rightly touched upon the bauxite transportation was a bigger challenge for Belagavi. And the only options what we had that time was imported bauxite, that is from Guinea. So it was a multimodal transportation. From Guinea, it has to come via ship. From ship to Goa. From Goa, it has to come to Belgaum by road. So initially, if you see it all depends on many other factors, which include one of the important parameters is your draft. Draft is the level between sea top to the bottom. So we found that at Goa, the draft was 12.8 meter, which can accommodate only a Panamax or Supramax vessel. Panamax or Supramax means the vessel is having a capacity of around 55,000 to 65,000 tons. So we started with that. The entire thing has come, where the requirement was getting fulfilled for the Belagavi plant. Then later on, we found what next? So what next has driven us to can we just go with a bigger size of vessel? The question was yes. We talked to the port authorities, we talked to the CHA, and we had a couple of meetings with that. Only the challenge was the entire operation has to be done in the anchorage. Anchorage is basically, it's a waste of breakwater when in the territory of MPT. Beyond that, it has to get unloaded. So it has to be transshipped to the barges, and barges has to come to the berth. Anyway, we tried and BB capesize. BB capesize in the sense 1,25,000 tons of vessel has been planned. Came to Goa. Initially, there was some teething issues, but successfully we just unloaded the entire thing, and that gives more boost to not only to us but also to the government authorities, the port authorities, and the CHA. And then we said, okay, what next? Why can't we just think of the bigger side of vessel, maybe having a capacity of 1,75,000 or 2 lakh, what we call it as a cape size vessels. So again, we moved to that, and that was also being successfully handled. So you rightly said, so what we thought of always questioning your status quo and say, okay, what next? So what next has given me or us further just explore towards different aspects. Why Goa? Why can't we go to some other places or a nearby port wherein the overall logistics cost, because ultimately it's a total landed cost at Belagavi plant. So that has to be reduced. And that has triggered, we visited to many ports nearby, and that we finally found one of the port which is near Jagar in Maharashtra region. So they have a mechanized unloading facilities. The draft was almost 13.5 meter, which can accommodate this cape size vessels. And then the journey has started to just ship the vessel from Goa to Jagar. And we did it. It was very, very successful. Then came up what next? And what next has further brainstorm between all of us, and we found key, why can't we look for some nearby siding? Siding in a sense railway siding, wherein from this port the entire metal can be shifted to the railway siding and just do the transportation via them, which not only the entire journey has helped in reducing the logistics cost, but also carbon emission was also getting a very good impact on that. And with the railways, we had many meetings for getting permission from PCB, from railways, from environment, because of dusty in nature and all. And finally, we got through, which is we call it as a Samri station, which is near about 6 kilometers from our plant, and then we already moved 4 rake this bauxite rake through. So that was a really a good case study. You can say a success story. You can say wherein the entire journey has started from putting from 65 kt to 175 kt and again landed to this railway movement for ultimately reduction of the entire carbon footprint.
So thank you, Mr. Manoj. This is a beautiful example of necessity is the mother of all inventions. So which has driven you for this invention and new models. Thank you for these insights. Coming to the last part of the discussion. So yeah, we have the next discussion point. This is on the front of development of environmental friendly packaging and environment friendly products for your consumers. So what are the efforts taken by your organization? Mr. Saumik, the question for you.
Yeah, so see, when I talk about the environmental friendly or packaging or product, see, ours is a food product, right? So our key focus is always on, the nutrition part as well as, to consume less from the environment. So we also, there are two parts of it. One is to definitely the food product. One less sugar is something which we always try to do is from the benefit, and the other thing which we very much encourage from a portion control, what he call, like you have what you want, you don't waste. So that is also one of the great initiative which Mondelez does, that the product which you like or which you want to have, it comes in different packs and sizes, so you can take as only that much which you can eat and not should not waste that much. So that is one of the great initiative which we take, and we also encourage, so there should be zero wastage in the till it reaches the consumer and they also enjoy it. That's one. Now when you talk about the packaging, now packaging, the sustainable, having a sustainable packaging is very very important. So today, we are heavily, doing lot of work in making all our packaging a sustainable packaging, and even the paper packaging, what is taking, I mean, which we are using, they are actually made from FSC boards, etc. So that's something which we are doing very aggressively. Apart from that, it is not only about what you use in the while you produce, but it's also important that after the consumer has eaten the product, what happens to those plastic. So today, in India, so we have got a very robust EPR program also, where we do 100% EPR, what you call by volume. Whatever we give to environment, we are very much keen that we take back what we have given to the environment. We take it back. We do the EPR for that, and that's too we do it on a sustainable basis. That means we apart from, there are three modes of disposal what we have today: waste to energy, co-processing cement plant, and recycling. We do 100% recycling as on date. So it also reduces my carbon emission to the environment. That's one. But again, in this sector, we also focus on social aspect, where we generate employment. We give priority to diversity population. So these are some of the key initiatives how we also make it the entire thing a sustainable one. We also do lot of CSR out of that as well. So the product etc., that's anyway part of our CSR journey. That's a separate discussion, but then again we also do a lot of those things as well.
Yeah, that's good. Mr. Saumik, you touched upon mindful snacking and portion control part
Yeah,
of it. You touched upon packaging
yeah.
and circularity or recycling of plastic waste, which is a major aspect. for you. So thank you for this insights. And Mr. Manoj, from Belgavi unit perspective, I think Hindalco as an organization, we know that they have also come up with the low carbon aluminum and these kind of things, carbon free kind of thing. So at Belagavi unit, you have hundreds of grades of this specialty alumina. So what are your efforts in making moving on towards environmental friendly products at Belagavi unit?
Yeah, thanks. So first thing, our main objective, and this is being driven by not only MD but our chairman, to invest more on the renewable energy. So I can tell you since August 2024, Belagavi unit is the first alumina industries which has we can say a green product is being produced. So basically, what I said in the starting of this conversation, that we produce all types of value-added products and super value-added products. So this we can proudly say that entire production being done at Belagavi plant is green. So we have around one biomass. We have having a 33 tons per hour steam and 3 megawatt power. We already have 21 megawatt wind power. Generation has already started and we are utilizing that. And 9 megawatt solar power is under commission, which we are expecting in 4 months down the line. We also have many initiative has done in between, like your conversion of FO to NG. Earlier, our kiln used to be run with FO furnace oil, which 100% has been converted to natural gas. We are running with e-vehicle inside the plant. And also we are focusing on the future projects like your RDF, refuse derived fuel, electrode boilers, that is electrically this boiler is being operated and the steam is to be then generated, and renewable or producer gas and bio CNG. For any of the alumina industries, we are the almost zero carbon emission. Currently, we are running at 0.4 tons per ton of alumina, which is the best achieved figure across almost world, you can say. And our target is to go with 0.2 tons per ton of alumina, which is near zero carbon emission by 2030. And the entire Hindalco target is as a company level, I can say, zero carbon emission by 2050. So also what Mr. Samik has said, we also touched upon the many of the social aspects and all, the environmental issues into CSR and all, and just promote them for encouraging of these more and more sustainable your uses of products and all, giving them training, e-toilets and all, so supporting them in different prospects and all, and so that we can grow along with the environment. We cannot grow alone without touching upon them. So that was the whole motto and plan for the Hindalco.
Okay, so that's great. So with that, we will come to the end of this growth webinar on the green supply chain management. Thank you very much, Mr. Saumik and Mr. Manoj, for your insights. I think we had two different insights from corporate perspective, how it is driven, the strategies and goals, how do you actually drive work with the manufacturing sites and implement. We understood from you from the sustainable agriculture, a lot of new things for as a key takeaways. Packaging, how important it is, plastic waste reduction. You touched upon a lot of things in the discussion. Mr. Manoj, thank you very much for your insights from the site's perspective and being a supply chain head. How do you manage the local stakeholders, authorities, the political landscape, all those things, and how did you actually turn those challenges with respect to the logistics challenges what you had? How did you convert that into opportunities for your unit, your success story? Thank you for sharing your success stories and insights. Thank you both of you for your time and contribution.